I'm Laura. I'm a filmmaker and content creator here on YouTube, and I've been doing the Artist Way now for 3 weeks for creative recovery. All right. So first things first, in the check-in are morning pages. I did them almost every day. I think I skipped out on 2 days because I got a little bit busy. And then, yeah, they've been interesting. I've been renaming them like morning rages and morning tattles and morning cries sometimes. I don't know, it's been interesting. This chapter is about, like, she mentions anger, synchronicity. It's the interesting thing of, like, once you open your mind to possibilities kind of, like, randomly present themselves to you. I don't know if this has necessarily happened this week. Maybe, like, 1 or 2 opportunities have presented themselves that I wasn't expecting. Or, yeah. Perhaps, maybe synchronicity is at work here. Editing Laura here. I just wanted to jump back because I completely forgot to talk about the part of this chapter that addresses dealing with criticism. So there's an entire list of things that you can do if you are facing criticism, and like look at the criticism again. Does it remind you of any criticism from your past, particularly shaming, childhood criticism? And then just get back on the horse, make an immediate commitment to do something creative. Creativity is the only cure for criticism. Oh, and then, yeah, do something very nurturing for yourself. Read an old review or recall a compliment. A very smart way to deal with criticism and not let it, like, crush you or demotivate you. No massive realizations this week, I don't think. In terms of artist dates, I did do it, and it took me, I don't know, I spent 2 hours maybe on it. I ended up painting again, but you know, I don't know, I like it, I find it fun. I'm used to drawing, but I'm not used to painting, so it was a bit of a challenge. I'm less picky about it, it seems, than when I draw, where I'm like obsessively sort of going over and over the same line, trying to get it right. It seems that in painting I kind of just expect the results to be a little bit messy, and I seem to mind it a little bit less because I just had way less experience in painting. I also don't really know yet how to use these paints, so I just accept that it's not going to be perfect. I was just going where the inspiration took me. I went on a walk, saw some animals, it was nice and sunny, saw some mountains, felt really good. In terms of tasks this week were interesting. The 2 that I ended up picking were about people that I either admired or people that I wanted to spend, dead people that I wanted to spend time with. So interesting. The first task was list 5 people that you admire, and then list 5 people that you secretly admire, and then like compare the traits of both. I don't know if I necessarily have people that I secretly admire. I'm not necessarily like ashamed of people that I admire or don't admire or whatever, but yeah, I'll just put the list here. Again, it's just faster. But yeah, no, like it went from sort of like book characters to people that I know in my life personally, to like famous people. I was trying to think about it. It's like, okay, so what traits do you want to see in yourself? I believe is what she was saying after this exercise. And I was like, I guess I admire their poise. I admire the way that they hold themselves. I admire the amount of effort that they've put into their craft. I admire how caring some of them are, how good at what they do some of them are, and you know, despite being really good at what they do, they're still incredibly kind and considerate, and intelligent. And yeah, I mean, of course, those are traits that I would love to emulate as much as I possibly can. Yeah, and then with the dead people one, it's like, okay, list 5 people who are dead that you would want to spend an evening with, something like that. And then list 5 people who are dead that you'd want to spend eternity with. And the idea is that the people that you want to spend eternity with are more like the real traits that you're looking for in a partner or a friend. So yeah, again, I'll put the list here. Audre Lorde, Maya Angelou. Honestly, I would just sit and listen to her recite her poetry just forever. Cleopatra, I just would love to, get a history lesson from her, just be in her presence. David Bowie, I would have the absolute crack with him, I'm sure. Katharine Hepburn, I just want to get all the piping hot tea from her, and I would just I'm sure she'd have so much to talk about, and I would just guzzle all that gossip up. Yeah, and then Toni Morrison, I would just want to gush about her writing and, really say thank you for her craft and, the amount of work that she's put into getting her craft to the level that it was before she died. So, yeah. To answer the questions like, what now, look at the traits that you would like to find in your friends based on these 10 people. I don't know, okay, courageous, definitely bold, unapologetically themselves, which kind of ties in with the bold, obviously. Didn't hide, put themselves out there, fought for something, found themselves in a certain position of power or responsibility. So essentially what I'm looking for in friends apparently are just people who are kind of badass and go for what they want. It is quite different to the people that I admire. It's like the other list of people that I admire and people that I secretly admire. Interestingly, the first one that I landed on was my creativity will lead me to forgiveness and self-forgiveness. Interesting. I hope so. I hope that my creativity will lead to forgiveness and self-forgiveness. The chapter next week is all about recovering a sense of integrity, so that's interesting. All right, I think that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next week.